haven't made a video in a while because I've been making a lot of masks, face masks for my family and for the community that I live in. But the material that I'm using is 100% cotton. I'm actually cutting it out of a 100% cotton dress that I don't wear anymore. And the extra fabric that I put in there sort of as a filter. It is it's called Olifun. You can get it at Walmart in the craft section over where the fabric is at. And it's used to make the reusable shopping bags and stuff like that. It comes in a roll, and it's really neat material. But I layer it in between the two pieces of 100% cotton on the front and back, and I think it adds an extra layer of protection. I can spray the outside of the mask with water, which you'll see me do in a few minutes, and the inside of the mask is still dry. So let's get to it. Okay, as you can see here, I've got the 4 pieces of 100% cotton that I cut out of that dress. I've got the 2 pieces of Olifun that I have cut out. Alright, so this mask is not sewn together yet, but what I'm going to show you is you're going to have a layer of the Olifun. I'm just going to kind of sandwich it together here so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. But you can see I've kind of sandwiched the Olifun in between the 2 pieces of fabric. And this is just water here. It's plain water. I'm just going to spray the outside of the mask you see there is wet. Alright, and it's wet to the touch. But again, I'll do it again so you can see. Alright, so I've really saturated the outside of that. The inside of the mask is still dry. It's not even wet. So I think this just gives an extra layer of protection. And it's not even sewn together yet, so I figured I would show you that. Now let's get to making the video. I really hope that you like the video. Please like it and share it if you want to. And please comment below and tell me if you've made any masks or if you do something different. I would really like to know. It really helps my channel to grow. I hope you have a blessed day and you find this video very informational and helpful. Thank you. I forgot to mention that I got the pattern off their Sweet Red Poppy video for the free pattern for the face mask. I'm going to link that video at the end of my video so you can watch it. Also, I want to mention my youngest son. I'm going to also post his video at the end of my video so you can watch it if you like. He plays Fortnite, the video game. He's awesome on it. He's got, he's just starting now, but he's got 78 or 79 subscribers, and he's doing awesome. So check out his video, see how you like it. Thank you. I'm cutting up 100% cotton dress. That, and you need 4 pieces of fabric for that, for the front and the back. I'm cutting up some olefin material right here, and you need 2 pieces of that. Acts as a filter. This I'm cutting up wire for the nose pieces, and you'll notice I am measuring it to the sewing machine where the arm detaches, so you can do a plant leg or whatever. I'm fitting the wire up to that where it detaches there, and that's like 7 inches and 3/16 of an inch. So that's what I'm using, because I want my wire to be 7 inches in length. So it gives me just a little bit over 7 inches. And I'm going to take, and I'm measuring here. I'm putting that wire up to another piece of wire and measuring it and cutting in the same length. So I'll have 2 pieces of wire. And I'm just using an old pair of scissors that won't even cut paper now. But you can use wire snips if you have them. And there's my 2 pieces of wire. I'm going to take the 2 pieces of wire, I'm going to fold them in half, and I'm going to start twisting them together. And you want to twist them where it is a tight twist. You don't want it to come undone. And I'm going to go all the way down the length of the wire and get it to do a really tight twist. Now when you get to the end, you're going to have your 4 pieces of your wire that's loose. Don't worry about it, because we're going to take some needle nose pliers and we're going to start curling the ends of that so the rough edges of the wire won't poke through the material when we put it in the material before we start to sew it in the mask. And right here I've got 1 piece that's sort of sticking out. You can see here. And what I'm going to just tuck it in. I keep playing with it till I get it tucked in where it's smooth and it's not going to poke through the material. You can cut that off if you choose to do that. I just decided to make it, squeeze it in, make it flush with the other one. I'm going to curl the other end of the wire. You just don't want any rough edges, because you're going to sew this in with some material before you sew it into the mask. You don't want it to poke through the material. So that's why I'm curling the ends. Another option for the nose guard is you can take pipe cleaners and fold them in half and curl the ends, and that makes a really good nose piece. I haven't tried this, but you might be able to take 2 brad ties together and twist them together. I've heard that you can use that as a nose guard. You can take paper masks and take the nose guard out of it, cut it out, and that makes a really good nose guard. Here you can see the finished product of the nose guard. When I first started doing these, I was laying the nose guard in between the 2 pieces of scrap material, and sewing around the nose guard to make like a pocket. I found it's much easier if you take the 2 pieces of fabric, go ahead and make your pocket, just leave it open, slide your wire in, and then sew up that opening, and it's so much easier. You're not fighting with it. After you get done, trim off the excess and you have a finished nose guard. And so we're going to lay that to the side. I'm going to go ahead and cut my elastic, and I'm going to just use the arm again. So I have 7/16 of an inch of strip of elastic. Now you can use hair bows. You can take 2 hair bows for each, cut them in half, and use that for 1 earpiece on each end. You can use headbands, the thin headbands, cut them in half. They make great headbands. I'm gonna, not headbands, I'm so sorry, earpieces. Here I'm going to take the 2 pieces of material, and I've got them right sides facing each other, and I'm going to sew along the curved end. And I'm just using a straight stitch on that. So you want to just cut off your excess strings and lay it to the side. That just gives you a good firm grip. Then you take your other 2 pieces and you're going to put them right sides facing right each other again. And you're going to take the 2 pieces of olefin material, and you're going to put one on the back side of one and on the back side of the other one. Just make sure your olefin is on the back side of the material and your right side of your fabric is up. As you can see here. And I'm going to sew completely around. I'm just using a straight stitch again on this. And I found it much easier if you lay your fabric down and put the olefin material on top. And so with that being on top, it's just your fabric doesn't wrinkle as bad. It just makes it easier, glides easier. Gonna cut off your excess strings, and if you have any excess material, just go ahead and trim them off. It's fine, it'll be all right. And I'm getting the second piece, just line the material up on the olefin material, and again sew it with the olefin on the back side of the material, so completely around with a straight stitch. And again, just trim off your excess strings and any material that's a little bit excess, just go ahead and trim it off. Now you're going to take your two pieces of material and you're going to put them right sides together. And you're going to sew along that curved edge, just with a straight stitch again. I have a Brothers machine and my straight stitch is number 2. Okay, you can see it sewed there in the middle. Now you want to take and open it up and push the material through to the other side. And you're going to have one end that's kind of pointed and the other end's going to be a little bit straighter, like a straight edge. That is where you're going to sew your nose piece. And you can pin it on your nose piece, but I just find it's easier just to lay the material on there and kind of hold it, and it just helped got it through the machine. It's a little bit easier, I think. And I'm using a zigzag stitch on mine, which is number 6 on mine. Yeah, I just find it's easier to use it to go over the wire. And if you don't sew it in the excess material, you know, the scrap material, the wire, I have found on my machine, and they don't do it on yours, but on my machine, it catches on the wire. So that's why I put it in the scrap material and just glides over it so much easier. I'm just trimming off the excess strings, and you can see it's attached there now. That's your nose guard. I'm going to take and push the material back up again, and I'm going to take the other 2 pieces that we sewed earlier on the curved ends, and I'm going to put right sides together. And you can go ahead and this is where you're going to attach your ear pieces to. Now, if you have the paper mask, you can use the ear pieces off of the paper mask, and that makes great ear pieces as well. But you can see here, I'm hanging the elastic a little bit over the edge, just pinning it on with a straight pin. So you're going to hang that. And you're going to put your, you can see here I loop the material. I'm just hanging off the edge just a little bit in between the 2 pieces of the material. So we'll do the other side the same way. Now you want to sew completely around. Just leave an opening so you can turn it right side out. But I'm using a straight stitch on this. Here you have the opening. Just use the straight to turn it right side out. And just don't forget to take your straight pins out so you don't poke yourself. And I'm just poking the corners out with the material. I have found those long needle nose tweezers I showed you. I got those from the Dollar Tree, and they work great to poke out your corners. Just don't push too hard so you don't push through the material, but it does work really well. Alright, so here I'm folding in, tucking in my opening so I'll get a really good, smooth, finished look to my mask. I'm going to pin that opening so when we do the top stitch, it'll sew it right up. And for the top stitch, the stitch I chose was the zigzag stitch again. I find it's really decorative and looks really cute on the mask. You can choose whatever stitch you want to do, but I really like that. And I'm just finger pressing the mask. Now you can press it with an iron if you want, if you choose to, but I just finger pressed it. So here we're just going to sew completely around it and closing up that opening there. Trim off your excess strings and you have a finished mask. And you can see the nose guard is there. It gives a really good firm nose guard. So you have a really well tight fit mask. Okay, hello, this is Tracy Howard with Southern Tennessee Mom. This morning I'm coming to, we're going to make a video together. The fabric that I'm using is Olifon. It's what they use to make reusable shopping bags out of. And its own. Hi, morning. This is Tracy Howard with Southern Tennessee Mom.